Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Vickie's Country Home. Today I am going to make a pie, and this is the book that I bought in Napa, Vintage Pies, and I found this at the Culinary Institute of America, and it has some of the really the neatest recipes. So I have been looking through it, and one that really caught my attention that I want to make first is a shaker lemon pie. And unlike most lemon pies that you would get, most of them are a single crust. They might have meringue, and this one is a double crust pie. But the other thing about this that just fascinated me, you use the whole lemon. It's not just the juice and it's not just the zest. You're going to use the whole lemon for this recipe. Let's get started. Alright, the recipe calls for 3 medium-sized lemons, and you want to use organic if possible, but since you're using the whole lemon, the zest, everything. But the only organic lemons I found were little bitty, so I'm going to do 4. And I've washed them very well. And I'm just going to take off the very ends because those probably wouldn't be good in this. The story behind this pie is in the early 19th century. Citrus fruit was very expensive. And I'm just going to cut this in very thin slices, but I'm going to use the whole thing. But it was very expensive, so the shakers, to use as much of this as possible, cut up the entire lemon, and they use the whole thing. So I'm going to cut this all up. I am going to remove the seeds because I don't think those would be good. They wouldn't make a good pie. So if you could see, these are maybe 1/4 inch thick. And it doesn't really say, it just says slice them thinly, so that's what I'm doing. If you can slice it thinner, it might even be better. But this rind is going to give it texture too. So I'm going to get these 4 small lemons cut up, and this one has like some little marks. I don't even know what it is. It's not bad spots as much as it is just kind of a brown on top of the rind. I'm just going to cut that off because we don't want anything marring this. So let me get these 4 cut up, get all the seeds out, and we'll come back. Okay, I've got this almost cut up, but what I figured out doing it, it's really hard to get the thin slices without slicing your fingers. It was getting challenging. So what I did is I sliced each end and got the small pieces off the ends, and then I cut it down the center. And what that did is it made it much easier because you can lay it flat. And then you can take your really thin slices off much easier without this moving around on you. And it's just worked much better. Plus you can generally see the seeds and get them out better than trying to dig out pieces that have been sliced. So there's one there. Well, I could cut a little more. But this is just a little tip. Nobody is going to see the difference because it's the inside of the pie. and you will be cutting into it. But it sure makes it go a lot easier and a lot faster. Alright, once you have this all cut up, you need to measure out 2 cups of sugar. And again, I used the raw organic sugar, pure cane sugar. You can use whatever kind you want. And then we're just going to pour that over, and we'll be mixing it in. And what we're going to do is this is just going to macerate. And I think I'm going to get a larger bowl because we're going to be stirring this several times. Alright, that's going to be a lot easier. Now we're going to leave this for 24 hours. I will be coming back to stir it, but it's going to macerate, the juices are going to come out, it's going to soften the peels, and so that's what it looks like. And I'll probably lay something over this just because it's summer and bugs get in the house no matter what you do. At least they do here. So I'm going to cover this up, let it sit for 24 hours, and then we'll come back and we're going to make a pie. I have let the lemons macerate overnight, and I've stirred them a number of times, and they are just gorgeous. They're just that beautiful yellow. There's lots of liquid that has come out and blended with the sugar. Just beautiful. So now I'm going to make the pie crust. So I've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of salt. And I have 7 tablespoons. This is Crisco. I'm not using lard this time. Probably will next time, but I've got this, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Even though this, I believe, is much worse for you than lard. So I'm going to get this in the bowl. And I do have a blender, for a pie crust blender, but you could use a couple of knives, you can use forks, whatever. And the secret with pie crust is not to blend it too fine. You want those coarse pieces of fat left because that's going to make it flaky. We want just about like that. Now what I'm going to do is I have a 1/4 cup of cold water, and I put an ice cube because it's a hot day. So I'm going to gradually add that until I get the right amount. You may not need the entire 1/4 cup. So we're just going to do it gradually. You know what? I made single crust pie crust, and I'm going to need double. So I'll have to double this, but that's okay. I'll just do it again. I was watching Mrs. Lori's video last night making a pie out of this book, and she made single crust, so I wasn't even thinking. That's okay. It needs just a tiny bit more. And you just want it to come together. You don't want it to be wet. And you don't want to overwork it. Nobody likes a tough pie crust. And you know what? It's so warm. I may stick this in the refrigerator for just a few minutes because I want this to stay nice and cold. So I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and then I'll come back. Alright, I kept this one in the refrigerator to stay cool while I made the second crust. And now I'm going to get it rolled out. And you know what? Homemade means it's not going to be perfect. But I do like this rolling mat. Now I'm going to get the filling ready before I get the second pie crust out. So switch back to the recipe in the book. And I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. So now I'm going to get out 4 large eggs and I'm going to whisk them until they're light in color. Alright, here are the lemons that have been macerating since last night, since actually yesterday around noon. So they are really nice and tender. It's given those peels time to get softer and for the flavors to just infuse into the sugar, and I just can't wait. I think this is going to be a wonderful pie. So now we're going to add the beaten egg, to the lemon, and stir it well to combine it. And that's all there is to this pie filling. There's no other ingredients. Alright, now we're going to pour this in the pie shell. I don't think you can see what I'm doing. Move that over a little. So it's kind of like a custard, but it's got all these beautiful slices of lemon in there. And I think it's going to be really nice and sweet tart. But I am glad that I used 4 of those small lemons, because I think 3 would not have been enough. And I think that's as full as I want to make it. Alright, let me roll out the other pie crust, and we're going to get this in the oven. I've got the top pie crust on, and now I'm just going to start kind of folding it under, and then I'm going to crimp the edges. And pie baking is not my specialty. This is Mrs. Lori's specialty. So if you want to see how to do it right, go check her out, because mine taste good, but they're not always pretty. Now my cakes, on the other hand, they can be beautiful. Yep. Now we're just going to make a few slits in it. And it is so warm that this pie crust is softening while I'm working. So I need to get it in the oven quickly. As you can see, it doesn't even want to cut. It's really getting soft. Alright, I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'm going to bake it for about 45 minutes, and then we'll come back and see what this thing looks like. This is a beautiful pie. I'm so excited. And so let's take a taste. And there it is. So let's see how this came out. And you can see all the layers of the lemon and the crust. It's sweet and tart like I would hope. I think I would leave it longer to macerate. And maybe even cook it a little bit. As thin as I cut the slices, they're still a little bit chewy, but it still has that sweet tart lemon taste that I love. But if you like it a little more tender, I would cook it a little bit longer. I'd cook it a little bit, or let it macerate for maybe even another 12 to 24 hours. But the taste is wonderful, and this crust is amazing. But it really does taste good. So thank you for watching Vickie's Country Home. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and hit the little bell if you want notifications, and make sure and select all notifications. And go check out Lori at Whippoorwill Holler, and she does amazing things with pies. So thank you for watching, and we will talk again soon. God bless.